Part 119. Magic Planet Online Game. Author, Lanzai Cai Shi Zhen Shen. Chapter 1181. Master Xiaoming and his two disciples set off. Xiangzi and Jingzhou are not far apart. After a few days, in the game, they arrived in Jingzhou. At the second watch that night, Di Yun quietly went to Wan Mansion and saw Qi Fang and her daughter Bao Xingke burning incense and praying in the back garden. Ask God to bless her husband Wang Gui, her father Qi Changfa, and her senior brother Di Yun with good health, longevity, and everything. Seeing that his junior sister still remembered him, Di Yun was very moved. At the same time, Xiaoming took Shui Sheng to search the mansion, and indeed could not find the main characters such as Wan Zhenchan and Wang Gui. The next day, the Wan Mansion treatment dungeon was opened. Di Yun and his two friends pretended to be quack doctors and were recruited into the mansion by Wan Zhenchan's sixth disciple Wu Gan. The dungeon was officially opened. Similarly, Di Yun quickly entered Wan Mansion, but Xiaoming and Shui Sheng were seen through. The disciples and servants of Wan Mansion began to stop them. It was still illogical. These NPCs only cared about stopping Xiaoming and Shui Sheng, but still regarded Di Yun as a doctor. The system was designed in this copy. This time, Xiaoming made preparations early. He put soft armor on Shui Sheng and prepared a belt around her waist. Xiaoming tied Shui Sheng on his back and carried her into the Wan Mansion. This way, the speed was very fast, and he quickly rushed to Wang Gui's ward. At this time, Qi Fang was still begging Di Yun, who was pretending to be a doctor, for help. Wu Gan was also pretending to help. Di Yun had no way to deal with Qi Fang. In the original book, he obediently gave the antidote. But Di Yun couldn't do it in this life. Why? Because the bottle of antidote was not with Di Yun, it was confiscated by Xiaoming, and it was actually destroyed secretly. Unless the Wan Mansion can invite Yan Dapping, and Yan Dapping is willing to help with the treatment, otherwise Wang Gui will definitely not be saved. At this moment, Xiaoming rushed into the house with Shui Sheng on his back and subdued Wu Gan. This guy knew all the bad things that the Wan family had done, and he was involved in most of them. Xiaoming threatened him with his life and ordered him to tell everything. These guys are really bad. No wonder they were so familiar with framing Di Yun. It turns out that they have done this kind of thing countless times. Although Qi Fang still said that she didn't believe it, she actually believed it in her heart. What kind of character is Wang Gui, and what kind of character is her father-in-law? After so many years of getting along, Qi Fang is very smart and has already noticed it. But she can only accept her fate. Fortunately, her daughter is smart, well-behaved, and cute, which gives Qi Fang hope for her life. Now she knows. It turns out that all the injustice and harm suffered by her senior brother were because her husband Wang Gui coveted her appearance. This fact was too horrible. Qi Fang cried bitterly while holding her daughter, which frightened her daughter to the point of being at a loss. She stretched out her little hands to touch Qi Fang's face and cried, "Mom, don't cry, Mom, don't cry." With her daughter's buffer, Qi Fang finally stopped her sadness temporarily. She was also afraid of frightening her daughter. Water spinach is her lifeblood. At that moment, Xiaoming wanted to take Qi Fang and Chinese cabbage away from Wan Mansion. But how could Qi Fang take her daughter with a stranger, let alone a young man? Even though this person helped her expose a big scam, she couldn't just leave with him like that, right? Don't you want to save face? No, she didn't trust Xiaoming, and she was a little reluctant to leave her husband. No matter how Xiaoming and Shui Sheng persuaded her, she still refused to give in, and Xiaoming was so angry that he wanted to kidnap her and her mother. Or Di Yun couldn't stand it anymore, and took the initiative to tear off the disguise on his face and showed his true face to Qi Fang. There is no need to say more about what happened afterwards. After meeting her senior brother, Qi Fang was finally willing to leave with the others. In fact, her feelings for De Yun were very sincere and strong. Perhaps even deeper than Shui Sheng's. In the process of leaving Wan Mansion, there were still NPCs blocking the way, but at this time, there was no need to worry about the speed, and Xiaoming didn't have to carry Shui Sheng on his back. Shui Sheng's little face still had a bit of a lonely expression. She was riding the master's brand BMW just now, and she was a bit excited to say. What a naughty child. Qi Fang had a certain foundation in martial arts. She protected her daughter, De Yun, and Shui Sheng protected the mother and daughter, and Xiaoming coordinated and dealt with all enemies. Several people killed their way out of Wan Mansion. Wu Gan told the truth, which was also a bit of credit. Xiaoming didn't kill him, but just abolished his martial arts, and then ignored him. If he was smart, he would take advantage of the chaos to escape. If he stayed in Wan Mansion with a brain full of water, it is estimated that Wan Zhenshan would not leave him alive. Along the way, the system arranged a lot of people to intercept, and some people shot cold arrows and hidden weapons, trying to launch a certain attack on Qi Fang. But they were all blocked by Xiaoming. Among the people who blocked the road, Wan Zhenshan also appeared, but he disappeared in a flash. Xiaoming didn't have time to chase him. After all, Xiaoming's martial arts were strong enough to break through the test of the system. After rushing out of Wan Mansion, the copy was successfully completed, and Qi Fang's life was finally saved. After rescuing Qi Fang and Bao Xingke, the 5 people quickly left Jingzhou in plain clothes and found a remote place outside the city to live. With Xiaoming's martial arts, no one can follow in this secret realm. They are highly skilled in martial arts, so it is natural that there is no problem taking care of Bao Xingke, a little girl. Shui Sheng is still a girl, young and playful, and she likes Bao Xingke very much. She hugs her all day long. Bao Xingke is also strange. She met Shui Sheng for the first time, but she is very close. She sticks to Shui Sheng and is unwilling to leave. She even ignores her mother. Just in time to not interrupt De Yun and Qi Fang's world of two. They chatted in the corner for a long time before coming to greet Xiaoming. It is estimated that De Yun told Qi Fang everything that happened in the past few years. De Yun has no secrets from Qi Fang. Qi Fang already loved De Yun deeply. Knowing that De Yun had suffered so much in the past few years, she felt pity and her love became even more intense. Looking at the eyes that they couldn't leave each other, Xiaoming knew that their marriage was almost certain. As for the death of her husband Wang Gui, although the master was also a little responsible. But in the end, Wang Gui had his own faults. Qi Fang didn't vent her anger randomly. She knew that De Yun's good fortune and even became a famous figure in the martial arts world were all thanks to her master Zhang Xiaoming. This time, he came to expose the scam and save himself, and it was also because of the master's efforts. Qi Fang followed De Yun and called Xiaoming master, without any hesitation. Xiaoming did not accept Qi Fang to teach martial arts, because she had De Yun, so Xiaoming did not need to interfere. Suddenly, Xiaoming saw Qi Fang holding the selected Tang poems in her hand, which was naturally given to her by De Yun. Since the plot has changed so much, Xiaoming was not polite and simply revealed the secret of Lian Cheng's sword manual. The 3 brothers Wan Zhenshan, Yan Daping, and Qi Changfa studied the sword manual for many days, but they could not figure out the secret. In fact, the book will show the words when it is soaked in water. It is strange that the 3 old Jianghu masters could not think of such a common routine. Magic Planet Online Game. Author, Lanzai Cai Shi Zhenshen. Chapter 1182. After passing another dungeon, the plot was reversed a bit, and the system gave Xiaoming's character a few years of internal strength, needless to say. Next, Xiaoming had a bolder idea. He wanted to try to prevent the tragedy of Tianning Temple. According to the storyline of the original work of Lian Chengju, Tang Poetry Anthology was destroyed by the poisoned Wan family father and son, but the secret of Lian Cheng's sword manual did not disappear. When De Yun was helping Brother Ding and Miss Ling to be buried together, he found that Miss Ling was buried alive in the coffin. Before she died, she engraved the secret of Lian Chengju on the coffin board. In order to avenge Qi Fang, who was killed by Wang Zhenchan and his son, De Yun engraved the secret on the wall of Zhongling and announced it. This secret did lead Wang Zhenchan and Wang Gui out. But the greedy people who were let out were not just the two of them, but also Yan Daping, Qi Changfa, Ling Tuasi, Hua Taigan, Wang Xiaofeng, and many other heroes came to compete. As a result, because the treasures of Tianning Temple were coated with strong poison, they were all poisoned to death. How to say this matter, these people died because of greed, which is not unjust. But if a person is just greedy, he is not guilty of death. Just like a person sees a sum of money on the ground, even if he picks it up because of greed, does he deserve to die? Of course, Ling Zhifu and others did countless evil things because of this batch of treasures, and they really deserved to die. In the original book, Hua Taigan was a despicable person and did a lot of bad things, and he deserved to die. Wang Xiaofeng was a little wronged. The two heroes of Ling Jian can be called heroes, which means that they usually do a lot of chivalrous things. His biggest fault is nothing more than being too vain and not trusting Shui Sheng. It seems that he has not done anything bad in his life and does not deserve to die. I believe that many of those heroes in the rivers and lakes are in this situation. In the secret realm where Xiaoming interferes, even Hua Taigan can be regarded as turning from evil to good. No, it should be said that he successfully avoided blackening. He should not die now. Once the treasure is revealed, Hua Taigan, Wang Xiaofeng, and some people who should not have died may die. Xiaoming really doesn't want to test human nature by bringing out this treasure. He knows very well that human nature cannot be tested. Many people don't do bad things just because the benefits are not big enough or they are not forced into a desperate situation. Speaking of human nature, most people are the same. So, Xiaoming wants to try to eliminate this disaster. Then someone may ask, will Ling Tuisi, Wang Zhenchan, and others be let go? How to lead them out without the treasure? This is easy. Zhang Xiaoming's Changsheng sect is now in full swing in the world. With the help of the four strange people in the south, how difficult is it to deal with these people? Even if the system helps them hide for a while, facing the overwhelming strength, these people will definitely die in the end. Xiaoming carefully told De Yun and Qi Fang about his ideas. At first, De Yun was quite puzzled, but Qi Fang immediately understood Xiaoming's intentions. He readily agreed. If Qi Fang died, De Yun would attach great importance to this selected Tang poems and would probably be reluctant to destroy it. But now that Qi Fang is alive and will be with De Yun in the future, this book is not so important for commemoration. Seeing that his junior sister agreed, De Yun, who was always obedient, lit a fire stick and burned the book clean. That night, several people waited until dark and found Ling Shuanghua's grave. Shui Sheng stood a little further away with Bao Zhengke in her arms, not wanting Bao Zhengke to see the dead. Xiaoming was also guarding them. At this time, Xiaoming remembered that he had saved Ling Shuanghua once in the previous copy. Unfortunately, that was not the first pass of the copy, and the plot could not be changed. There was some regret in his heart. De Yun and Qi Fang worked together to dig up the grave and pry open the coffin board. They saw the handwriting carved on it by Ling Shuanghua with her fingernails. Ding Lang, in the next life, we will be husband and wife again, and 3 rows of numbers. It is the secret of Lian Cheng's sword manual. The two looked at each other in shock, then turned back to look at their master Zhang Xiaoming and nodded, indicating that there were indeed words here. It turned out that Xiaoming had said in advance that Ling Shuanghua was buried alive by her father as his own guess. The system actually allowed the two of them to hear it. This shows that this matter is not a serious spoiler in the eyes of the system. After all, De Yun will definitely come to dig the grave and will definitely see these words. It is not a big problem for Xiaoming to say it in advance. In order to make the last secret of Lian Chengju disappear from the world, the two destroyed the handwriting with a knife, and then put Ding Dian's ashes into the coffin for burial. During this process, Xiaoming has been vigilant. I'm afraid that the game system has designed this plot into a copy. Xiaoming is not afraid of some twists and turns, but he is most worried that the secret of Lian Cheng's sword manual may be exposed. Fortunately, the system did not cheat people at this stage. Everything went smoothly. After finishing this matter, Xiaoming and Shui Sheng invited Qi Fang to bring Cabbage to Shui's house to live for a while. Plan to arrange a wedding for De Yun and Qi Fang. It would be a lie to say that Shui Sheng didn't feel jealous. But she still sincerely hoped that De Yun and Qi Fang could finally get married. But Qi Fang remarried with her child, and was worried about being talked about by others, so she wanted to live in seclusion with De Yun. De Yun agreed with this proposal with both hands, and he had already thought of the location, which was the cave in the snowy mountain. He felt that it was the most comfortable place to live. "You two silly kids," Xiaoming shook his head and sighed. As if he was in his 70s or 80s. In fact, his character's face looks almost the same as Shui Sheng. He pretends to be mature, but he doesn't look like Shui Sheng at all. Fortunately, these people respect him very much, no one laughs at him, and De Yun and Qi Fang listen to their master's teachings in an orderly manner. You two have martial arts skills, so it's no problem for you to live in seclusion. What will Bao Zhengke do in the future? Will he be a wild man in the mountains for the rest of his life? Should he find a good family to marry and have children in the future? Living in a deserted place is not good for the growth of children. Hearing this, the two were stunned. Yes, no matter what, we have to consider Bao Zhengke's future. In their situation, it is impossible to live in seclusion. If they wait until they are old, they can follow the example of Master Yideng, Yingwu, and the old boy to live in seclusion, which is more reasonable. Now is too early. The ending of Lian Chengju is not very reasonable no matter how you think about it. Xiaoming gave a way out. Qi Fang and her daughter have to change their names and secretly marry De Yun. They only say to the outside world that they are De Yun's lost wife and daughter, and Shui Sheng's father helped them find them. Now the family is finally reunited. As for those who know their secrets, they are all targets that need to be attacked. Xiaoming will ask Hua Taigan to deal with those people. The most troublesome one is actually Qi Changfa, who is Qi Fang's father. If he comes to the door, Qi Fang and De Yun will have to respect him. Xiaoming can't do it either. Fortunately, in everyone's cognition, Qi Changfa is already dead. Xiaoming decided to quietly find an opportunity to make his fake death into a real death. Everything will be perfect. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Magic Planet Online Game. Author, Lanzai Cai Shi Zhenshen. Chapter 1183. After completing the task of burying Ding Dian and Ling Shuanghua together, the five returned to Zhang Xiaoming's mansion, which is the residence of Chang Shenmen, without any trouble. This large manor was bought by Nan Saiki for Xiaoming. It has all kinds of useful items and people. And it is on the same street as Shui Sheng's house. For some reason, this always reminds Xiaoming of Ningguo Mansion and Rongguo Mansion. Everyone just came back, and there is no need to arrange how to deal with Ling Tuosi, Wan Zhenchan and others immediately. It is really important to coax Kong Zhengke first. The little girl is a little shy in a new environment. Shui Sheng had to hold her all day long. Not only Shui Sheng likes Kong Zhengke, but even her father Shui Dai, Lu Changfeng who is recuperating here, Hua Taigan who takes care of Lu Changfeng, and others, also like this little girl very much. They obviously remembered that Shui Sheng was so cute when she was young. When she grows up, she will not be clingy. Now there is a little princess, which makes several old guys very happy. Shui Sheng is almost jealous of the water spinach. It's okay to lie to outsiders about Qi Fang's marriage to Wang Gui, but it must not be concealed from the four southern wonders. Xiao Ming told them frankly, and several people expressed sympathy. They are all martial artists, without the bad habits of scholars, and will not look down on Qi Fang. As the eldest disciple of Chang Shenmen, De Yun is a hot commodity. Many people are eyeing him, and Shui Sheng is obviously interested in him. For this reason, Hua Taigan is still a little worried. He is afraid that the power and inheritance of Chang Shenmen will fall into the hands of the Shui family in the future. Now that De Yun has married Qi Fang, his concerns have been dispelled. Hua Taigan is of course in favor. Shui Dai felt a little pity and was a little worried about his daughter. However, the feelings of young people come and go quickly, so there is no need to worry too much. Everyone was busy helping Qi Fang and De Yun prepare for their wedding. Zhang Xiaoming found an excuse to leave temporarily, and this time he did not bring anyone with him. Pretending to be an ordinary person in the martial arts world, he rushed all the way to Zhongling. He planned to destroy Tianning Temple. Let the hidden gold and silver treasures disappear completely. These things are always a trap there. Seeing that Zhongling was not far away, Xiaoming found some farmers in the countryside to inquire about the location of Tianning Temple. After asking several people, they all said they didn't know. Finally, an old farmer gave Xiaoming directions. Xiaoming left a little money and set off to Tianning Temple to see the situation. This Tianning Temple is located in a remote area and has been in disrepair for many years. No one takes care of the temple. It is indeed a good place to hide treasures. However, what Xiaoming never expected was that even though he destroyed all the Liancheng sword manuals, several people still found this place. It was Ling Tuosi, Wan Zhenshan, Yan Daping, and Qi Changfa. Wang Gui was not seen in the temple, and he thought he had died of poison. Xiaoming quietly hid in the distance and listened to the wall. It took a long time to figure out the whole story. No need to ask, it must be the system's fault. Here's what happened. The burial of Ling's Hifu's daughter was known by a gold-mocking lieutenant. How many burial objects could a prefect's daughter have? He originally looked down on such a small business. However, this time, for some unknown reason, he went to rob the tomb. It was before De Yun and others went to bury the deceased. The coffin was originally smeared with the poison of Jinbo Sunhua. However, it was all cleaned up when it was buried. Otherwise, those who were responsible for carrying the coffin and burying the deceased died, and Ling's Hifu would have a hard time explaining it. The gold-mocking lieutenant dug the grave smoothly and opened the coffin, but found that there was not even a single valuable burial object in the coffin. Even the shroud, bedding, and other general burial objects were missing, and Miss Ling was only wearing a single piece of clothing. That would have been fine. When the coffin was opened, Miss Ling's hands were raised high. The gold-mocking lieutenant was so scared that his soul flew away. He thought it was a fake corpse. He is not De Yun. He did not expect Miss Ling to be buried alive. He thought that such a strange thing happened because Miss Ling had some unfulfilled wish. As a tomb robber, tomb robbing is an offense to the dead, but they also have a set of theories and methods to respect the dead. I wonder if this should be considered a thief's code of conduct or crocodile tears. Since Miss Ling had an unfulfilled wish, the tomb robber wanted to help her solve it, so as not to be entangled by her ghost in the future. What exactly was the wish? He searched for it and saw the last words and numbers on the coffin board. He hurriedly wrote them down solemnly, and then properly restored the tomb to its original state. He did not know about the Liancheng sword manual, and could not guess the meaning of the string of numbers for a while. Originally, the most effective way was to go to Miss Ling's father, Ling's Hifu. However, as a tomb robber, how could he dare to see this Hifu? What should I say if I go? I robbed your daughter's tomb and saw these numbers. Can you, as a father, help me explain it? Isn't this stupid? People with an IQ of 70 or above probably wouldn't do this. The tomb robber quietly asked around to see if anyone could figure out the meaning. The tomb robbers were all very cautious people. After a while, this matter was treated as a joke and gradually became known to people, and spread to the ears of Ling, Wan, Yan, and Qi. How could it be so coincidental that they almost figured out the meaning at the same time? In the southwest of Zhongling City, there is a Buddha statue in the main hall of Tianning Temple. Worship it devoutly, pray through the spirit, and the Tathagata will bless you and you will be reborn in paradise. Ling Tuisi didn't know Tang poetry and swordsmanship, but he and Wang Zhenchan had already colluded with each other. Come together to hunt for treasure. Foot before and after, Yan Daping and Qi Changfa also arrived. The four of them were temporarily deadlocked here. Why didn't they bring a large force? It's easy to understand. Because these four people don't intend to share the treasure with anyone. In the original book, Wang Zhenshan and his son first got the selected Tang poems and analyzed the 4 words south of Zhongling City. As a result, it was heard by Wang Zhenshan's apprentice, and then it spread throughout the world. Countless people from the world ran to the vicinity of Zhongling. Ling Tuisi couldn't do it alone, so he had to bring officials and yamen runners to take the treasure. Now the news has not spread, Ling Tuisi didn't bring officials, and Wang Zhenshan didn't bring his apprentice. The two people had the same idea in their hearts, first looking for treasures together, and when they found the treasure, they immediately killed each other and took the treasures alone. Unexpectedly, Yan Daping and Qi Changfa also came. Faced with the combination of Ling Tuisi and Wang Zhenshan, Yan and Qi naturally joined together, and a big melee between the four was about to break out. Seeing this, Xiaoming was a little amused. The system is really good at playing. He thought he had eliminated all possibilities, but he didn't expect that these four people still knew where the treasure was. He still couldn't avoid the finale. However, since only the four of them found the treasure, Xiaoming didn't care. These four people deserved to die, as long as other people didn't know about it. I think with the caution of the four people, the secret should not be easily known to others. Magic Planet Online Game. Author, Lanzai Cai Shi Zhenshen. Chapter 1184. 5 Cloud Hands. Wang Zhenshan is the first disciple of Mei Niansheng, the iron-boned black-eared one. His martial arts are indeed better than his 2 junior brothers. But he didn't win much after all. He and Iron Chain across the river Qi Changfa crossed swords and fought ping-pong. Land Dragon Yan Daping will be dealt with by Ling Tuisi for the time being. Although Ling Tuisi's martial arts are not bad, they are still slightly inferior to these 3 people. It is also a lower ranking and upper ranking method for him to hold Yan Daping. I just hope that Wang Zhenshan can deal with Qi Changfa as soon as possible, then the overall situation will be settled. The plan is pretty good, but is Qi Changfa so easy to deal with? He was plotted against by Wang Zhenshan before, and after thinking it over, he mainly practiced martial arts during this period, in addition to surveillance. Wang Zhenshan has a sect to take care of, and there are many distractions. Nowadays, although Qi Changfa's martial arts are still not as good as those of the eldest brother, they have narrowed a lot. His current strength is actually not inferior to Yan Daping. So much so that Wang Zhenshan fought with him for a long time, but still couldn't take him down. He couldn't help but get impatient. If Ling Tuisi was killed by Yan Daping first, he would be in danger. He had to think about how to sow discord between the two of them and give himself a chance to survive. Qi Changfa saw Wang Zhenshan's worried look, and he understood his intention after a little thought, and he was also happy. He seized the offensive with the long sword in his hand, and each sword was as fast as the other. He had to entangle the eldest brother and prevent him from rescuing Ling Tuisi, and he had no time to think about other tricks. Wang Zhenshan had to be fully prepared to deal with it, and dared not be distracted. Don't capsize in the ditch. At this time, the battle was at a stalemate, and the four people also left room. If any one of them wanted to leave, they probably had a chance to leave. But no one was willing to give up this legendary treasure, and they were all gritting their teeth to persist. Suddenly, two screams came one after another. It was Ling Tuisi and Yan Dapping. They actually fought to the point where both were injured. It turned out that Yan Dapping had been attacking for a long time and had to use his special skills. This time he must be ruthless, and the one who attacked was not a scorpion, but a venomous snake. Wang Zhenchan knew about his ability to use poison, but he had never told Ling Tuisi, and even deliberately misled Ling Tuisi, making him think that the three of his fellow apprentices only practiced swordsmanship. I believe everyone can guess this intention. When Wang Gui was poisoned, although Wang Zhenchan looked for doctors all over the city to detoxify, he did not reveal that it was Yan Dapping who hurt him. Instead, he made up another story. Otherwise, once the Qi family's old house was mentioned, Ling Tuisi might have some ideas. Wang Zhenchan knew that Ling's Hifu was very wise, and it would be troublesome if he was discovered by him. Ling Tuisi certainly would not completely trust Wang Zhenchan, but he could not guess that Yan Dapping was actually a master of poison, and he was immediately tricked when he did not check for a while. Ling's Hifu screamed, fell to the ground due to poisoning, black blood gushed out of his mouth, and the Buddha statue in Tianning Temple flashed before his eyes. Suddenly, he had a sudden inspiration, and his eyes shone with brilliance. Yan Dapping was very familiar with this look, which was the look of seeing money. He immediately understood that the big Buddha was the treasure. While the other two were not looking, he rushed over to block Ling Tuisi's face. He was going to kill this man with a sword, and then destroy his eyes to avoid being exposed. This sword pierced Ling Tuisi's heart, and Yan Dapping was relieved half of his heart, and he didn't have to worry about him screaming before he died. Unexpectedly, when he drew the sword, some powder came out, and Yan Dapping didn't prepare for this move, and immediately inhaled a lot of it. The poison was very strong, and Yan Dapping screamed and fell to the ground, and he was no longer alive. His body just pressed down Ling Tuisi's head. This was Ling Tuisi's backhand. When he poisoned his daughter's coffin board, even Ding Dian was poisoned. It can be seen that he is also a master of poison. This time, he made arrangements on several vital points on his body. Once he was hit, various poisons would spray out, making it difficult for the opponent to defend. And he had already taken the antidote, so of course he would not be poisoned. Unfortunately, this is just a countermeasure, and it can only achieve mutual destruction. It is better to poison the enemy in battle. Unfortunately, it is difficult to poison in a battle. Ling Tuisi has been a prefect for many years and has not fought with others for a long time, so he is really a little rusty. Just now, he fought with Yan Dapping. Yan Dapping's swordsmanship was sharp, and Ling Tuisi had a hard time parrying, and he could not find a chance to poison at all. And poisoning must be a one-shot kill. Once he failed the first time and the opponent was prepared, he would have no chance. Even the countermeasures on his body were ineffective. When he was stabbed to death by Yan Dapping, Ling Tuisi was busy looking at the Buddha statue and did not notice that Yan Dapping was also poisoned by him. He will not live long. Hearing the screams of Ling Tuisi and Yan Dapping, the two who were fighting fiercely found an opportunity to glance at them with the corner of their eyes. When they found that the two men had died together, Wang Zhenchan and Qi Changfa's first reaction was to breathe a sigh of relief. There were two less people to share the money. There was only one opponent left. Wang Zhenchan felt that Qi Changfa was defeated by him, and it should not be difficult to defeat him again. Qi Changfa practiced hard for a long time and had some confidence. As long as he killed the opponent, all the treasures were his. At this time, there was no need to save energy to deal with others. The two of them used killing moves frequently, and each sword was aimed at the fatal point, and the fight became more dangerous. Just now, there were 4 people fighting, and everyone was extremely cunning. Xiaoming was reluctant to take action because he was afraid that if 1 or 2 ran away, he would never find them again, which would be troublesome. Now that 2 were dead and there were 2 left, it would be much easier. Xiaoming didn't want to see who would win in the end, so he saw the opportunity and threw a handful of stones. Wang Zhenshan and Qi Changfa were fighting fiercely, and neither of them had the energy to defend. As if he had been hit by a machine gun, his body was pierced through many vital parts, blood gushed out, and he was dead. Xiaoming dug a very deep pit in the middle of Tianning Temple, picked up several corpses with a long pole, and then pushed the big Buddha statue down. Ling Tui Si and Yan Daping were poisoned, and the outer shell of the Buddha statue was fine, but the inside was also highly poisonous. So Xiaoming was very careful throughout the process to ensure that he would not be poisoned. In fact, Xiaoming's Changshengju internal strength was extremely deep. In the secret realm of Lianchengju, because of the system reward, he had an additional 10 to 20 years of internal strength. These poisons are ineffective against him as long as he is not contaminated too much. When the big Buddha fell, the 4 corpses were crushed into a meat paste. You are in me, I am in you, and I can no longer be separated. Wang, Yan, and Qi have been fighting for half their lives, but they are buried in the same tomb after death. I guess they will continue to fight in the underworld. This ending is a bit like Gongsun Ji and Qiuqianke. Xiaoming shook his head and threw the random characters out of his mind. Use soil to completely bury the big pit. Xiaoming dug this pit very deep, and even if this Tianning temple is renovated in the future, it should not be discovered. The finale of the untold story finally came to a successful conclusion. Magic Planet Online Game. Author, Lanzai Cai Shi Zhenshen. Chapter 1185. The secret realm of the legend of the Condor heroes thus ushered in the grand finale in the surprise of all players except Xiaoming. In fact, Xiaoming himself was also surprised. He came to Tianning Temple with the intention of destroying the treasure so that the grand finale would not come, so as to avoid so many deaths. This goal can be said to have been half achieved. The grand finale still inevitably came, but only 4 people died. What? You ask why no other players came to make trouble this time? In fact, there were, but those people could not find Tianning Temple at all. The area south of Zhongling City is too large, and they can't make trouble for Xiaoming at all. After all, the game is different from reality. In reality, even if the player is a blind cat and a dead mouse, there is a chance to find Tianning Temple. But in the game, the player has not completed the previous copy and is not qualified to find Tianning Temple. In other words, the current Tianning Temple is specially created by the system for Zhang Xiaoming. Passed the grand finale with a perfect score, Xiaoming thought. I don't know if the system will completely close the secret realm of the legend of the Condor heroes next. In fact, this secret realm is still open to all players, but the timeline is no longer accelerated or decelerated, but advances according to the time in the real world. The history of the secret realm will be created by players and NPCs. This is mainly to give most players a place to settle down. After all, not everyone is a high-end player like Xiaoming. Some people have already learned from masters in the secret realm, but their skills have not yet been mastered. Now that the secret realm is closed, how can they continue to learn? In fact, this kind of completed secret realm is more gentle and considerate to ordinary players. Especially when those high-level players leave, the secret realm will become more peaceful. Like Xiaoming and his subordinates, except for a few people left to keep the wind, everyone else will move to other secret realms. In addition, there is no plot story in the completed secret realm to make trouble, and ordinary players can practice and grow quietly. The years are quiet and good. Zhang Xiaoming later gained a high reputation among some players of Shenanigans for creating a stable secret realm for ordinary players so early. After independently completing the secret realm of the Legend of the Condor Heroes, Zhang Xiaoming received the first reward that was unexpected but not very useful. He was allowed to watch the secret of immortality for 3 hours. Xiaoming already knew the secret of immortality. This reward was a bit redundant. When Xiaoming completed New Dragon in that year, he was rewarded with half an hour of watching the 7 pictures. These were things in the Magic Planet game. This time it was different. It happened in the Martial Arts Planet game. Not only was the viewing time extended to 6 times, but there were not only those 7 pictures, but also many text annotations. Unfortunately, those words were all Oracle Bone script, which Xiaoming didn't recognize at all. He never thought about learning Oracle Bone script. So this time Xiaoming only looked at the pictures, concentrating on imprinting all 7 pictures in his mind, and ignored the text. It is good to learn more after all. The main game of the martial arts planet is the Legend of the Two Dragons of the Tang Dynasty, and the two protagonists Cao Zhong and Su Xiling relied on the secret of immortality to dominate the world. It seems very reasonable that players can learn the secret of longevity after clearing the secret realm of the martial arts planet. Xiaoming cleared the secret realm by himself, and he only had 3 hours to look at the pictures. Imagine that if players normally clear the secret realm, it may take 20 to 30 people. In that case, each person may only have 10 to 20 minutes to look at the pictures. It is estimated that they will not learn much. Of course, our classmate Xiaoming does not know the plot of the Legend of the Twin Dragons of the Tang Dynasty, nor does he know the origin of the secret of longevity. He just learned it in a muddle. He learned 3 pictures in just 30 minutes, which is his ability. Gu Weiner, who also cleared the level and looked at the pictures, only learned a little bit. The second reward of the finale is to obtain a one-time special permission to the next secret realm. The specific size of the permission depends on which type of secret realm you choose. If it is still the starting secret realm, Xiaoming can replace the identity of an important plot character. To use the analogy of the Legend of the Condor Heroes, it is the 5 wonders of the Central Plains. If you choose to improve the secret realm, you can replace an unimportant plot character. For example, Nan Ziren from Jiangnan 7 Freaks. If you have to choose the ultimate secret realm, Xiaoming cannot replace the plot characters, but can specify the sect where he was born. Of course, there is a range of choices. It is definitely not possible to be a junior brother to the Black Wind twins, but there may be a chance to be a servant in Peach Blossom Island. Finally, there is another option, which is the main game of the Legend of the Twin Dragons of the Tang Dynasty, with permissions similar to the ultimate secret realm. No matter which faction the player originally belongs to, using this permission will increase his status accordingly. For example, Xiaoming was originally a small follower in Weigong village. After using it, he can probably be a general to Chen Yaojin and Wang Bo. Seeing this permission, Xiaoming finally knew why he could replace Nan Ziren in the Legend of the Condor Heroes secret realm. Before, he used source energy to strengthen the martial arts planet game warehouse and got the opportunity to replace Nan Ziren. He didn't think much of it at the time. Later, after a long time of contact with the people of the Shen family, he realized that even they had not obtained such a high authority. Why did he have it? You must know that Shenku is the person in charge of the Sheneng project, and the martial arts planet game is run on the Sheneng spacecraft. Their treatment should be at the highest level. I am at most on par with them, how can I be better than them? The answer is almost there now. It turns out that if you clear a secret realm in the game and get a good score, you will have the opportunity to improve your own authority. So even if Shenku did not get the highest level of treatment, the game system still gave him room for improvement. In addition, it is actually quite troublesome to replace plot characters. The player's martial arts must be worthy of it. This is very difficult to do. Even if the Shen family obtains high authority, they are not able to replace unimportant plot characters. Therefore, it makes sense that their initial authority is lower. The end of a secret realm is also the beginning of a new secret realm. Regarding this reward, Xiaoming has not yet figured out how to use it. I really have no interest in the starting secret realm. Even if I enter, I can deal with it as a player. Whether it is double-edged blade or white horse roaring in the west wind, the martial arts level is not very high, and I can completely crush them. This authority should be used to improve the secret realm, or the ultimate secret realm. But Xiaoming does not plan to use it for the time being. On the one hand, he has to continue to complete the main plot of the Legend of the Condor Heroes. On the other hand, Xiaoming's subordinates are still helping Xiaoming find his parents. Once you find out which secret realm your parents are playing in, you must enter that secret realm. It will be more helpful to your parents if you enter as a character in the plot. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Magic Planet Online Game. Author, Lanzai Cai Shi Zhenshen. Chapter 1186. After completing the main storyline of The Legend of the Condor Heroes, the most unexpected reward for Zhang Xiaoming is the third reward, which allows players to choose a plot character in the secret realm as their follower. The follower can follow Xiaoming to other secret realms and do things for Xiaoming. In a martial arts planet game where clones cannot be used, having a follower is definitely helpful. Of course, the prerequisite is that the follower has a high enough favorability with Zhang Xiaoming and asks for the other party's opinion. If the other party disagrees, the system will erase his related memories and let him continue to live normally in the Legend of the Condor Heroes. If the other party agrees, after becoming a follower, he will be loyal to Zhang Xiaoming. Xiaoming can also arrange this follower to live in any secret realm he has logged into. He can also be transferred from one secret realm to another at any time, or even put in the main game. The condition is that Xiaoming must have logged in. This follower and other NPCs will not have any doubts about this kind of crossing, and Xiaoming can use it with confidence. Xiaoming can imagine why the game is set up like this. The secret realm is for players to accumulate their own martial arts and subordinates. With high martial arts and more followers, they can return to the legend of the two heroes of the Tang dynasty with a large army. This inspiration is probably learned from the reincarnation space. The system did not prompt Xiaoming whether there were any restrictions on the martial arts level of the followers he chose. In other words, he could take the top master De Yun with him. But Xiaoming guessed that it was because he single-handedly broke through the main storyline of Lian Chengju and greatly changed the plot, and his contribution was great, so he was given such preferential treatment. If it were someone else, the followers he could choose would definitely be limited. It is impossible to allow all NPCs with high martial arts to choose. It's just that Xiaoming's choice range is too large this time, and even De Yun, the top master, is included. Unfortunately, De Yun and Qi Fang have such a deep relationship that he would never agree to follow Xiaoming. It's a pity that his martial arts skills are a bit bad, but De Yun's brain is not very good, and he can't stand alone unless Qi Fang is with him. But De Yun and Qi Fang definitely don't want to be separated, not to mention that there are cabbages to raise. Xiaoming can no longer use this family. Epsilon equals Omicron asterisk, alas, if there were two, no, 3 places, it would be great. The characteristic of followers being able to travel freely would be of great help if used properly. Because in different secret realms of martial arts planets, the speed of time is different due to different game progress. In The Legend of the Condor Heroes, Xiaoming once had a situation where 10 days in reality advanced 10 years in the secret realm. Originally, the 7 freaks of Jiangnan practiced the Changsheng Ju together, but after 10 days, Xiaoming had not practiced it yet, and the 7 freaks of Jiangnan had 10 years of Changsheng Ju skills. All of them surpassed Xiaoming, and the main storyline was still being deduced, which made Xiaoming feel overwhelmed. he was forced to go to the reincarnation world for 15 years, and practiced 30 years of Changshengju skills with 2 bodies before he dared to go online again. The king returned. Due to the timeline gap, Xiaoming immediately thought of finding a suitable follower and teaching him advanced martial arts. Then choose a secret realm with a long initial time span like the legend of the Condor heroes. Throw him in. As an NPC, he follows the time of the secret realm. In this way, he will become a master of a certain level in a short period of time. With such a master, he travels back and forth between the secret realms and the main game to help himself. It seems quite exciting. However, it is also necessary to pay attention to a very important point, that is, this follower cannot live forever, and he also has a lifespan limit. Be careful not to let him die of old age. This is not difficult. As long as the follower's martial arts are fully developed, put him in the secret realm of Lianchengju. The time here is the same as the real world, so there is no need to worry about him dying of old age. The biggest problem is the selection of people, who is more suitable to be a follower. There are many NPCs to choose from in Lianchengju, but few are useful. The only ones who can really be used are Nan Saiki or Shui Sheng. Nan Saiki's martial arts are good, and each of them has rich experience in the martial arts world, and can help Xiaoming do a lot of things. But they have already mastered the internal skills, so it may be difficult to change to the Changshengju. Shui Sheng is still young, so she can find a suitable secret realm to stay for 10 years to practice the Changshengju internal skills. She will be very powerful. However, this little girl is too simple-minded. Even if she practices martial arts, she probably can't help herself. It's not very useful. It really makes Xiaoming very difficult. Moreover, he has to hurry up to choose. Because there are not many opportunities, and they are fleeting. Let's count which secret realms have such opportunities to slip through many years in the blink of an eye. The Condor Heroes trilogy can. However, Guojing's early growth period in the Condor Heroes has passed. In The Return of the Condor Heroes, Yang Guo spent some time in the ancient tomb in his early years. Later, Xiaolongnu jumped off the cliff, and another 16 years flashed by. In The Heaven Sword and Dragon Saber, Zhang Wuji also had a growth period in his early years. Other secret realms that still have opportunities are the Sword of Blood and Jade and the Snow Mountain Flying Fox. Yuan Chenzi and Hu Fei also had the experience of growing up from a teenager. As for the other secret realms, there should be no chance. However, Xiaoming is not sure what stage these 4 secret realms have developed to. He still needs to ask the Shen family. So Huang Xiaoming left the game cabin and came out to find Shen Ping. He basically took care of all the affairs of the Sheneng 2 spacecraft. It is estimated that the affairs in the game are the same, so it is right to ask him. For such a big event as Zhang Xiaoming breaking through Lianchengju, the people of the Xian family in the secret realm had spread the news long ago. At this time, even Xian Ku and Xian Shui might know about it. After all, Xiaoming watched the Changshengju map for 3 hours. It was not just after he cleared the level. Hearing Xiaoming asking about the progress of each secret realm, Xian Ping did not dare to take the initiative and said that he needed to ask Captain Xian Ku for instructions. He would notify Xiaoming after getting the news. Deep down, he didn't think it was a big deal. With the relationship between the leader and the Xian family, Xian Ku would definitely agree. But as a housekeeper, he must stick to his duties and not interfere. At the end, Xian Ping casually asked why the leader wanted to know these things. This must be inquired. If Xiaoming told it, Xian Ku would decide whether to help. If Xiaoming hid it and refused to say it, that would be another situation. The Xian family should also treat it differently. Xiaoming didn't want to show off, but then he thought, he was asking for information from others, how could he hide it? So he told them about the system being given to the follower. Xian Ping was surprised, but he didn't show it on the surface. He complimented Xiaoming a few words and left. Xiaoming smiled and returned to the game cabin. Magic Planet Online Game. Author, Lanzai Cai Shi Zhen Shen. Chapter 1187. The next day, Xin Ping came to invite the leader to the restaurant for a banquet. Along the way, Xin Ping did not forget to arrange a few broken things for Xiaoming to repair. Squeeze the labor force to the limit. In the restaurant, Arthur, a bartender robot in a red tuxedo, was very happy to see Zhang Xiaoming, and hurried over to receive him attentively. After all, he was also repaired by Xiaoming. This gratitude, Arthur's program can perfectly simulate. Xin Ku is much better now and can leave those treatment instruments. He and his daughter Xin Shui have been waiting for the leader for a long time. The three of them sat down as guests and hosts, and Arthur and Xin Ping waited on the side. This banquet was specially arranged by the Xin family to thank the leader for solving the secret realm of the untold story. By the way, celebrate the National Day of the New Han Kingdom. That's right, the last day of September has passed, and the time has come to October 1st. Butler Xin Ping is still wearing the usual tang suit, and Captain Xin Ku puts on the captain's uniform for the first time, which is really heroic. Xin Shui dressed up specially, wearing a plain white dress, which made her look more beautiful. However, Xiaoming still prefers her heroic appearance as a death god. With the Zanpakuto Senbonzakura, she is so handsome that she has no friends. Fortunately, Xiaoming also wore a tang suit when he came to the banquet, so he did not embarrass himself. Sheneng too has prepared all kinds of ingredients very well, but as a spaceship built by Europeans and Americans, the cooking system on board is not very good at Chinese food. It can only make very simple Chinese food, and it can't make slightly more difficult food. Fortunately, there are people in the Xin family who graduated from the Chef Academy, and the table of dishes is very rich. To be honest, Xiaoming doesn't recognize several of the dishes. Most of the others have only been seen in movies and TV dramas. In the process of daily contact, Xin Ku has discovered that although this leader is very capable, he should not be from a famous family and does not know much about many aristocratic etiquette. Fortunately, he didn't care about those etiquette issues. At this banquet, he didn't bring out those upper-class etiquette to disgust people. Just get along like ordinary people. Don't look down on country people. In this regard, not only the Xin family will pay attention, but all the major forces on Pangustar will be cautious. Since ancient times, talents have emerged from humble families. There are many outstanding reincarnations in the reincarnation space who come from the people. And most of the reincarnations are unruly. If those famous families put on the style of aristocrats for no reason, it will definitely anger many reincarnations. No family dares to offend the public. Over time, Pangustar has reduced a lot of cumbersome etiquette. It was the power from the common people that made the nobles change their lifestyles. As the few people ate and chatted, Xin Ku naturally asked about the untold story, mainly because he wanted to know what the reward was for completely clearing a secret realm. Xiaoming didn't hide anything and told the process of his clearance and the three rewards. The father and daughter of the Xin family listened with great interest. As S-level and B-level reincarnations, they were not particularly envious of the rewards Xiaoming had received. When martial arts are practiced to a high level, they are only about B-level. For example, the current level of the leader is only C-level. It is not a big threat to them. The reason why the Xin family attaches importance to the secret realm is mainly because of the immigrants on the Sheneng spacecraft. The purpose of the martial arts planet game is to improve the physical fitness, reaction speed, and other qualities of immigrants through martial arts training, so as to help them better adapt to immigrant life. Therefore, maintaining the stable development of each secret realm is actually the most important. Although they themselves have no demand for martial arts, They have also arranged some subordinates to practice martial arts. The hostile forces of the Xian family occupied the Lianchengju secret realm and destroyed the social atmosphere, which really hit the soft spot of the Xian family. We know that there are only 3 starting secret realms, Lianchengju, Yuanyangdao, and Beimazioxifeng. So there are about 1/3 of immigrants in each secret realm. If they really let them ruin the hearts of so many people, it will be a big trouble. Fortunately, the leader discovered the problem in time and solved it. It is reasonable for the Xian family to express their sincere gratitude. But the problem now is, the leader's people are now in a trend of dominating the major secret realms. In fact, as long as the secret realm develops steadily, it doesn't matter whether it is dominated by the Xian family or the leader's faction. The premise is that the leader will not change his mind suddenly. Although Captain Xianku's trust in the leader has reached more than 80%, he can't really entrust all the game's secret realms to this trust. After all, you can't know a person's heart by knowing his face. If the leader's faction dominates all the secret realms, once he turns against him, it will be a disaster for the Shenan plan. At the dinner table, Xianku talked to the leader about the division of power. He wanted to manage different secret realms with the leader. This made Xiaoming confused. The other party was an S-level master and couldn't use telepathy, so after listening for a long time, Xiaoming reacted and knew what Xianku was worried about. Seeing that Xianku didn't trust him, Xiaoming felt a little hurt, but he expressed his understanding. The other party was in charge of such an important matter. If he casually trusted someone who had just appeared for a few months, it would be truly irresponsible. For this kind of problem, Xiaoming also has a way, that is to sign a space contract. Restrict one's own behavior in the secret realm. There is a wise saying on the earth in the parallel world, agreements are meant to be torn up. It fully illustrates the falsity of agreements between countries. However, this sentence doesn't work on Pangustar. If you have the guts to tear up the agreement of the Samsara space, try it. Dragon Palace will never agree. The leader and Xianku signed an agreement certified by the Samsara space. It established the dominant position of the Xian family in all secret realms. The people of the leader's faction will never destroy the social harmony of any secret realm. Of course, this harmony is limited to treating players. If the situation is not right, the Xian family has the right to expel the players of the leader's faction from any secret realm at any time, including the leader. This is equivalent to giving the Xian family a sort of imperial power. With this agreement, Xianku can rest assured. Before the banquet, the Xian family considered many possibilities, but who knew that the final result was better than the best result they expected? When the leader's subordinates entered the Lianchengju secret realm in large numbers, the Xian family was happy, but a little worried. They were afraid that the leader was an ambitious person. Yesterday, they learned that the leader had opened up Lianchengju and destroyed the plans of the hostile forces. In addition to being happy, the captain's worries increased. He was prepared to give up some of his interests this time. You know, when the Sheneng arrives at the new galaxy, if 1/3 of the immigrants are won over by the leader, then the other party will have a lot of say in the new government. The interests involved are terrible. I never expected that the leader would not care at all. Magic Planet Online Game. Author, Lanzai Cai Shi Zhenshen. Chapter 1188. Even after signing the agreement, Xianku was still a little puzzled. Logically speaking, the leader was able to mobilize a large number of masters in a short period of time and get so many game warehouses. With such strength, he must be a lord. Then he should not be so regarding money as dirt. Only the Lone Ranger would be so open-minded. The leader's performance is a bit contradictory. Why is it? Unconsciously, Xianku thought wrongly. Could it be that heroes are hard to resist beautiful women? Is the charm of his own daughter so great? Thinking of this, he looked at Xi and Shui with a weird look, which made Xi and Shui a little confused. What is the look of Dad? Weird. Although Xi and Shui is not a naive person, her mind is still not complicated enough, which is very similar to Shui Sheng. She can't guess the complicated thoughts of her father. She does have some good feelings for the leader, but it is far from being unforgettable. Before this banquet, she was very nervous. If things don't go well and the two sides have a fierce and tense collision, Xi and Shui feels that it will be difficult to face the leader in the future. But there is no reason to give up the interests of the Xian family. So the little girl is very embarrassed. Seeing that the leader was very happy to give up almost all the interests of the martial arts planet game, she felt very happy. Not for these interests, but for the friendship with the leader. At the same time, Xian Ping, who was waiting on the side, was also thinking about it. In fact, among all the people in the Xian family, Xian Ping was the one who had the most contact with the leader. He was also the one who could feel the leader's strength the most. Although Xiao Ming did not show his own strength to the fullest, Xian Ping could still sense the leader's calmness. He believed that the leader really didn't care about this little interest. There should be no intention of getting both money and beauty. The agreement has been reached, and Xian Ku reported the progress of each secret realm to Xiao Ming. Except for the demigods and semi-devils. That secret realm is the basic plate of the Xian family and is also a secret. Anyway, Xiao Ming said that he would not enter Tianlong Babu, so there was no need for them to know. The situation should be said to be not bad. The progress of the two starting secret realms is in the middle and late stages of the plot. There is basically no progress in other advanced secret realms and ultimate secret realms. Because the main force of the Xian family is in Tianlong, Xiao Ming focuses on advancing the legend of the Condor heroes. The manpower of the enemy forces of the Xian family has just been dispersed into the major secret realms, and there is no time to advance the progress. In addition, the strength of other players is limited. Without those high-end players to raise the overall level, they cannot even meet the prerequisites for opening the dungeon. So those secret realms with a longer time span have not changed much. Xiao Ming still has the opportunity to take advantage of those time bugs. However, Xian Ku thought this method was good, so he took the Legend of the Condor Heroes and the Legend of the Fox, leaving Xiao Ming with only the Return of the Condor Heroes and the Sword of Blood and Jade. Of course, if the two sides do a good job of linkage, they can use the bug together. But Xiao Ming's martial arts are too high, and the progress will be much faster than that of the Xian family. So Xiao Ming will definitely use the bug earlier. I was too embarrassed to share the other two secret realms with the Xian family. Xian Ku pointed out a question that Xiao Ming had not thought of before. Master, how many followers do you think you can get in the end? It can be said that one sentence awakened the dreamer. Yes, now only one follower is obtained. If you take this follower to a secret realm to practice, then a precious opportunity will be used up. In the future, it is still possible to get new followers. Where should they go to practice? Such opportunities are rare. The Xian family has done research, so they help the master to make a feasible plan. In simple terms, it is progressive. The master first gets all the followers that are easier to obtain, and then concentrates them to use a bug training. In this way, a strong force will be gathered, and this force will be used to conquer other secret realms, accumulate more followers, and then use the next bug. And so on. In addition, the personnel of both sides must closely monitor the progress of all secret realms. Once these bugs show signs of being activated, they will be used quickly. If the two families play around and miss the opportunity, it will be embarrassing. With Xiao Ming's martial arts, the other two starting secret realms should be easily cleared. This is the quota for 2 new followers. However, one of the 2 secret realms was also taken away. Because the Shen family also needs to test the feasibility of this matter. So 2 plus 1 makes 5. Next, Huang Xiaoming spent about 2 or 3 days to clear the white horse roaring in the West Wind's secret realm as a player. I won't describe the details. The martial arts level of this secret realm is not high, far worse than Lian Chengju, and Xiaoming easily passed it. Speaking of this secret realm, there is actually a period of time when the heroine Li Wengzia grew up, which can also be used in theory. Unfortunately, as a starting secret realm, under the strategy of a large number of players, the storyline of the White Horse has long been pushed to the middle and late stages of the plot. Unless Xiaoming started playing the game 1 or 2 years ago, he can't use it at all. Its rewards are similar to Lian Chengju. I looked at the picture of Chang Shengju for a while, I got the identity authority of the secret realm again, and a follower quota. Xiaoming only had time to save the life of Mr. Ji, that is, Ma Jiajun. He took Li Wengziu, a girl who was hurt by love, as his apprentice and follower. Since he accepted Li Wengziu in Bai Ma Xiao 11 Feng, Xiaoming gave the follower quota of Lian Chengju to Shui Sheng. Let the two girls be companions and stay in the Changshenmen station for the time being. After all, it is safer in Lian Chengju. That identity authority can be used in combination with the previous one. In this way, Xiaoming can obtain the identity of an important plot character in the improved secret realm and replace the unimportant plot character in the ultimate secret realm. The reward effect is indeed gratifying. After completing the White Horse secret realm, the time has come to October 3rd. Xiaoming still failed to participate in the reincarnation space mission on Sunday, October 2nd. But it should be possible next time. After more than a month of construction work, Xiaoming can feel that the transformation of the Soul Gem/Hell on Guangmingding is nearing completion. Xiaoming has a huge underworld of his own. In fact, it was cut from the Saint Seiya world. Because the nature is almost the same, the Soul Gem took the opportunity to build it. And it was built according to the characteristics of Saint Seiya. The deepest part is the Pluto Palace, and Xiaoming's Guangmingding is just a hall in the Pluto Palace. The bright summit is full of spiritual energy, while the Pluto Palace is filled with yin energy. Both are good places for cultivation. Outside the Pluto Palace are the Hell Gate, the Three Paths River, and the 8 Hells. The entire underworld is solemn and dignified, and it is quite a sight. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Magic Planet Online Game. Author, Lanzai Cai Shi Zhenshen. Chapter 1189. As mentioned before, becoming a civil servant in the underworld will give you a series of avatars. From low to high, they are Ghost Messenger, Impermanence, Judge, King of Hell, etc. The basic system is decimal. If you have 10 Ghost Messenger avatars, you can get 1 Impermanence avatar. If you have 10 Impermanence avatars, you can get 1 Judge avatar. The strength of Ghost Messenger is about C level, Impermanence is B level, Judge is A level, and King of Hell is S level. In addition, the situation of civil servants in the underworld is very special. Different from normal creatures. First of all, their existence is very strange. Similar to the existence of ghosts, they have strong anti-detection and stealth capabilities. They are also immune to most physical attacks. Their energy tends to be spiritual. And the means of attack and defense are relatively special. The attack of the Ghost Messenger is directly launched against the soul. In terms of defense, they can run back to the underworld at any time to prevent the enemy from hitting them. And in general, few creatures are stupid enough to attack civil servants in the underworld. If you can't be killed at all, and the underworld will keep an account of it, isn't that just for nothing? Therefore, the strength of the underworld civil servants is generally not used for fighting, but more for collecting, controlling, and judging dead souls. In addition, Each underworld civil servant has his own underworld domain and building. This also requires the consumption of the civil servant's merits to condense. And Zhang Xiaoming's situation is even more amazing. His underworld is not the way of the Chinese, but the routine of Western legends. After being strengthened by the soul gem, his final position is the King of Hell, or perhaps it should be called the King of Hell. In fact, Xiaoming's merits are not enough to make him ascend to the high position of the King of Hell all at once. However, Xiaoming has powerful source energy, which can replace the role of merit. The so-called merit is the source energy paid to the underworld civil servants by the soul gem according to the contributions made by them. Similar to the scoring of the reincarnation space. Xiaoming, who already has a lot of source energy, naturally took a big advantage. Besides, the underworld cut from the Saint Seiya world and the 108 underworld clothes also indirectly improved his evaluation. Therefore, Xiaoming was able to be awarded the title of Hades in the Soul Gem. Perhaps because the title of Hades is too high, or for some other reason. In Xiaoming's soul world, the mandala flower representing orange source energy actually took root and grew into a 9-meter-high orange source energy tree. Probably because of the overdraft of a lot of source energy, the color of this tree is extremely dim at present, and Xiaoming needs to accumulate merit to restore it. Before the source energy tree is restored, Xiaoming cannot call on the orange source energy, and even cannot condense the fifth soul. He suddenly became a big debtor. According to the rules of the underworld, different Hades/Yanwang are in charge of different lands. Pangustar already has a special Yama in charge, and there is more than one. Xiaoming can't interfere at all. He doesn't know which Yama kings are in charge of Pangustar. The only thing he knows is that they should all be under the jurisdiction of my master Acha. The same is true for me. If Xiaoming occasionally takes away some souls from Pangustar for trial, puts them into reincarnation, and earns some merits, it is not a big deal. We are all civil servants, so there is no need to care too much. But if he collects souls from Pangustar on a large scale, that is another matter. These are all the merits of the local Hades. What should they do if Xiaoming takes too much? So he must find a new territory for himself, and he must find a territory that is not currently under the jurisdiction of the Hades. At this time, the soul gem told him that Quafustar is a suitable territory. Xiaoming was very surprised. A planet that had friendly exchanges with Pangustar 1.5 million years ago has existed for a long time. There is no Hades in charge? Can you believe it? However, this is a fact. Zhang Xiaoming is not clear about the specific reasons at present, and they will naturally come to light in the future. Hong Xiaoming's body is on Quafustar, and most of the time he is transformed in the soul gem. So it is natural to put Quafustar under his jurisdiction. From then on, Zhang Xiaoming had an official title in the underworld, Quafu Hades. Of course, Xiaoming's choices are actually greater. None of the 3 star systems of Yanhuang are currently managed by the King of Hell. If Xiaoming creates a few more King of Hell clones, he can even bring all 3 star systems under his jurisdiction. I have to say, his luck is really good. He has the opportunity to obtain the jurisdiction of 3 star systems. In fact, it is difficult for a King of Hell who is normally cultivated by a ghost messenger to obtain such a large jurisdiction. What will they do? In fact, it is also simple. They will look for private worlds brought out from the reincarnation space. Serve as the King of Hell in that world and obtain the merits of that world. Although high-level reincarnationists can obtain private worlds, most of them do not have the ability to become ghost messengers. After all, the merits in the private world cannot be obtained by themselves, and it doesn't matter if they are given to the civil servants of the underworld. There is no saying that one takes advantage of the other. In addition, a world without the management of the King of Hell does not mean that it is not under the jurisdiction of the soul gem. It's just that the operating mode is different. After becoming Hades, Xiaoming should theoretically have more than 1,000 ghost messengers, more than 100 impermanents, and 10 judges under his command. In fact, after the soul gem transformed his underworld and abilities, this matter has undergone a wonderful change. The Ghost Messenger and Xiaoming's Shadow Clone abilities merge together to form the Ghost Messenger clone. Since the Ghost can directly extract energy from the underworld, the existence time of the Shadow Clone is greatly extended. The number has also increased to 1,000 at once. The Ghost Clone is mainly responsible for some daily affairs in the underworld. At the same time, they can also collect dead souls when they walk in the real world. Xiaoming himself is not just a human, so the authority of the Ghost Clone is improved, and it can collect the souls of various humanoids and Zerg. When a certain number is collected, the Ghost Clone will return to the underworld and leave these souls in front of the gate of hell. For each soul collected, Xiaoming will gain a certain amount of merit. At present, this merit will be used to restore the orange source energy tree. It will be very useful in the future. It can be used to condense new ghost clones, to build your own underworld, and even to fight. The combat effectiveness is not weak. The two positions of Vuchang and Judge are integrated with the 108 Hades warriors, that is, the mind ability of Hades guards. 72 earthly evil stars have obtained the authority of Wuchang, and 36 heavenly stars have the authority of judges. Wuchang can collect the souls of all things and send them to the underworld. These souls pass through the gate of hell, Sansa River, and come to the first prison. Here, the judges can check the life of each soul and judge them. Of course, when they have free time, they can also go to the real world to stroll around, and they also have the ability to collect souls. Magic Planet Online Game. Author, Lanzai Cai Shi Zhenshen. Chapter 1190. In fact, each Hades has a slightly different way of judging the soul. Some Hades will measure the good and evil of a soul throughout his life, calculate a total score, and judge whether he is a good person or a bad person. The standard of Xiaoming's previous sort of rewarding good and punishing evil in reality is the same. In his underworld, good will be rewarded and evil will be punished. Every good thing a soul does will be rewarded, and every bad thing will be punished. The way of punishment is basically to give back in the same way, and the soul gem can give the soul a sense. No matter whether a person does good or bad things, it will be returned to his soul n times. True good will be rewarded with good and evil will be rewarded with evil. If a person is a liar, he will suffer n times of deception in the underworld, making him taste the pain of being deceived. If he helps others, he will also feel that he has received n times the help of others. The intensity of rewards and punishments is related to the mind. For example, it is also helping others. A person does it sincerely, does it for praise, does it for material rewards, does it for the sake of taking advantage in the future, even does it without intending to help others, but it has the actual effect of helping people. Different intentions will get different degrees of rewards. The process of reward and punishment seems long, but it is actually very short. Because it is just the effect of the soul gem. In the blink of an eye, it is equivalent to billions of years. This way of trial is certainly not perfect, but if it is unreasonable, it will not get the consent of the soul gem and cannot be truly formed. Since the soul gem has passed, it can be used. The last step is to hand over the soul that has been rewarded and punished to the soul gem for processing, which is the so-called reincarnation. With Xiaoming's current authority as a Pluto, he cannot interfere with the reincarnation process. It has to be at a higher level. For example, the 6 reincarnations were created by a certain big guy in the past. He existed earlier than my master Acha. That's really awesome. The King of Hell, the Judge, Heavenly Star Hades Warrior, the Impermanence, Earthly Star Hades Warrior, and the Ghost Messenger clone, these levels of civil servants in the underworld, have all obtained the power bestowed by the soul gem. The abilities of the lower level civil servants are also possessed by the superiors, and they are more powerful. For example, the special ability of the Ghost Messenger is to collect dead souls, and he can also directly attack the souls of people with evil thoughts. In addition, the Ghost Messenger has the ability to refine ghost soldiers. The ability of the Impermanence is basically the same as that of the Ghost Messenger, but each ability is several times stronger. In addition, he can see how long a life is, which is something that the Ghost Messenger cannot do. The Judge has the ability to check the life and character of any soul and judge it. No matter whether it is dead or alive, no one can lie to the Judge. Of course, the ability to judge can only be used in the underworld. In addition to establishing his own trial mechanism, the King of Hell also has the right to kill some extremely evil people, even if that person's lifespan has not yet ended. Having said that, if the King of Hell wants a person to die, it seems to mean that the person's lifespan has ended. Haven't you heard of this? If Hades wants you to die at 3 o'clock, who dares to keep you alive until 5 o'clock? The Soul Gem has integrated all these offensive abilities into Xiaoming's sword of rewarding good and punishing evil. Therefore, each of Xiaoming's civil servant clones can use the sword of rewarding good and punishing evil, but the power is different. Only the sword of rewarding good and punishing evil, which is released by Hades, Xiaoming, has the ability to take life. The swords of other civil servant clones can only hurt people, not kill people. However, the biggest limitation of the sword of rewarding good and punishing evil is that the good and evil of the opponent will seriously limit its power. If the opponent is a good person, or a person who has not done much evil, the sword of rewarding good and punishing evil will hardly work. People who have not done much evil will not be hurt much. The effect can only be maximized when the opponent deserves to die. The sword of rewarding good and punishing evil released by Xiaoming himself can even kill S-level enemies. Isn't it awesome? Despite all the restrictions, Xiaoming now finally has a trump card to deal with S-level enemies. At present, Xiaoming's defense and vitality are actually infinitely close to S-level. If he leaves his soul in the underworld/soul gem, he will be almost immortal. In terms of attack, his lethality against bad guys has reached S-level. Facing good people and ordinary people, he is still not strong enough. It doesn't matter, Xiaoming only intends to kill the bad guys. At this time, Xiaoming officially crossed the A-level threshold and entered the ranks of S-level masters. With this ability, Xiaoming naturally thought of the Hunter x Hunter secret realm. The reward and punishment sword should be effective against the Ant King and the guards. They pursue the survival of the Chimera Ant clan, which is fine. But killing humans is wrong. Unnecessary killing and unnecessary plundering are evil in Xiaoming's standards. These guys all meet the conditions for punishment. However, in the Hunter secret realm, they are by no means the worst existence. Those human politicians, big businessmen, and big capitalists are. It seems unfair that I only wield the reward and punishment sword against the Chimera ants. So it is better not to use it unless it is absolutely necessary. If he has to use it in the end, Xiaoming has decided to kill many bad people among humans and bury them with Miru M. And now, Xiaoming only needs to use the sword of rewarding good and punishing evil in the last blow, and he doesn't have to worry about killing the wrong person. There is always the soul gem to protect him. At this time, the ability of being the Hades has been obtained. Several levels of clones can also start to work, only the buildings in the underworld have some finishing work. Therefore, at least one soul must be stationed in the soul gem. After some thinking, Huang Xiaoming temporarily replaced Hong Xiaoming to enter the soul gem. Hong Xiaoming appeared in the posture of the gods on Quafu Star. Generally, when Xiaoming came to the Yellow Emperor Galaxy, he used Xiaoming or Zhang Liang's body, so that absorbing the light spirit would not cause surprise to the military. This time the situation was different, because Xiaoming included Quafu Star in his jurisdiction, which was recognized by the soul gem. And the existence of light spirits is somewhat similar to the dead, and they no longer need to use Xiaoming's body to enter Kunlun. As long as the light spirit is within the range of Quafu Star, it can enter the underworld first, and then transfer to Kunlun through other bodies. They will no longer flock to Xiaoming. In this way, Hong Xiaoming will not worry about being easily discovered. Hong Xiaoming came to Quafu Star in person to collect the souls here for trial. They did not have the management of the King of Hell before, and did not know what the situation was. With the thought, hundreds of ghost clones and 72 earthly evil star Hades warriors appeared on the surface of Quafu Star, sucking the surrounding dead souls into the underworld. These are all merits and cannot be wasted.